Hey everyone, this is Bridgette Ray's, and I am here on a Sunday Memorial Day weekend, and that's my cat in the background. That's one of my cats. This is Titus, and I'm actually homesick this weekend. This is what I look like when I'm homesick. I have virtually no makeup on. I might have a little something on, and I've been home with a chest cold all weekend. It really sucks. So me and Titus here, we're just hanging out, right, bud? Anyway, I thought I'd take some time while my cat entertains you, to film a video. This is obviously really casual. You have my radiator in the background and my crazy cat. I got an email from a woman named Judy who asked about, to tuck or not to tuck? That is the question. And her email is, would you be willing to address how to know when to tuck a blouse or a t-shirt, especially when combined with layering, i.e. when I wear a cardigan and I tuck in the shirt, all the lengths just seem to be a bit off. And what about a cami or t-shirt under a jacket? Is it okay if the hem peeks out underneath? I always see the half tuck in catalogs when they are selling pants, but do you do that in real life? So that is what Judy wants to know, and I think it's a very big question that a lot of people ask about tucking. I think that tucking for most women is like the kiss of death. And I think it's why a lot of women will avoid things like pleats or elastic at the waist or drawstrings or anything that's going on that's like has treatment near the waist, because then majority of women just don't want to tuck. So then what are you doing? You're untucking your top, and then you have all these lumps and bumps from elastic and whatnot. So it's never a good thing. But there definitely are situations where tucking does look better. I think that it's a proportion issue first and foremost. Sometimes underneath like a suit or a blazer, tucking in with like a pencil skirt sometimes does look good, and you definitely can do it. I think it brings a lot more balance, but you also have to be careful if you have like a very big chest, because when you start tucking in, you start shortening your torso, and when you shorten your torso, it makes your boobs look disproportionately larger. So this is like a problem I run in with a big chest. When you have a belly, I don't think you want to tuck in. I don't care. But when it comes to the tops you're choosing, then you want to make sure that your tops have a little bit of shape. Because when you don't tuck and you're wearing just some big old top that's like a tunic, it sometimes can make women look a little bit bigger. So if it's a question of tucking or not tucking, you want to make sure that the top looks flattering when it's untucked. I personally don't mind when a shorter jacket has a part of the top underneath peeking out. I think it can be cute, but again, I think it's a proportion issue. And oftentimes women can tell if the proportion's off. But I have no problem with it. I don't even mind it when it's a cardigan. If you have like a bright colored cardigan and a tank underneath it and it peeks out a little bit, I think it actually can bring balance to the outfit, especially if the top, the jacket, or the cardigan is too short. By bringing that length in, you're lengthening the top half of the body, and you're actually looking a little bit leaner and taller. Again, as long as there's some shape at the waist. The waist is really important when you decide not to tuck, because when you're wearing just a top that's hanging free, it can often look just a little bit too blousy. So another solution, actually, if it's about to tuck or not to tuck, is to belt. So if you're not a big fan of of tucking, belting the waist can actually give you some soft shape, gives you a bit of more of a relaxed, forgiving look around the tummy, and you don't have to worry about showing off a tummy if that's a part of your body that you want to avoid. So there really is no hard, fast rules like should you tuck, shouldn't you tuck, what's right, what's wrong. I think you have to use your best judgment, but there have been many times with clients where tucking has definitely been the way to go. But I think belting is a fine alternative. And I think there's nothing wrong with a little bit of the bottom of your top hanging out at the bottom of a jacket or a cardigan. You have to watch it, obviously, in a very, very corporate or professional environment. And again, if you have a large chest, to be careful of tucking especially if the bottoms are too high-waisted and you're going to really shorten your torso. So, tuck, not to tuck, it's your call. Either way is right. You can usually tell by how you look when you put it on, whether or not something wants to be tucked, but don't avoid tucking just because you're worried that it's not going to work. Tuck something in, see how it looks. If it's disastrous and you don't love the way it looks untucked, try a belt. And even if you have a bit of a tummy, try a belt. A contour waist belt usually works beautifully for tummy areas. And if you're large chested, a thinner belt, just to give it some gathering. It doesn't have to be super tight, but just something that, just cinches in the waist a little bit. The waist really is your friend. So if you don't want to tuck, look into belting. So that's my tip for this week. I was going to make it short and sweet, and I saw my cat hanging out here, and I thought, I'll let him entertain us, but clearly he's not one for the camera. So my other cat is, I don't know where she is, but signing off this week, this is Bridgette Reyes. You could ask me a question at bridgettereyes.com. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com// I can't talk today. I have a cold and I can't talk. / Bridgette Reyes Style Expert. Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. It's all at Bridgette Reyes. Look forward to checking in with you next week. I hope you're having a better Memorial Day weekend than I am, home with a cold, and that you're enjoying the new summer season. See you next week. Thanks.